Adrian.
Not to me. No. Have you heard from Zeb?
No.
Can everyone hear me?
Scott is on.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Commissioner Reddick, and Bishop Scott is going to go to another location so that he can actually log on and have a little bit better service. And so he's asked me to go ahead and start the meeting. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. And I think we need to start with roll call. Stephanie.
Yes.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn onto the highway.
Commissioner Bingle,
Here.
Commissioner Blackman, Commissioner Huff, Commissioner Outlaw,
I'm here.
Commissioner Powell.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Reddick.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum and hopefully Commissioner Scott will get.
Point of order. Can I have a point of order? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, can I make a motion that Commissioner Reddick be the presiding officer in the meeting in the absence of the chairman and vice chairman? Would that be in order?
I second that.
I guess Commissioner Reddick, if you would call a roll because you're going to be presiding the meeting. You have a quorum and a second and a motion.
Yes, sir. Now let me make it clear that I am only gonna start the meeting until Bishop Scott can
Yes,
be.
ma'am, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Jamie, did you have something to say? I see you had unmuted yourself.
You don't need a
I'm
motion
just
for
waiting
that.
the vote. I think you need to have
can-
the commissioners vote for you to run the meeting, and that's what I was wanting. You've got a motion in a second to do that.
Yeah. Well, the meeting's already been called to order, but if you want to put it in the minutes, you can. You do have a motion and a second, and you take a vote on that. We've already done the roll call. So if you want to just have a vote, we'll get it in the minutes.
Okay, all those in favor of Commissioner Reddick running the meeting in the absence of Bishop Scott and Commissioner Huff?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Somebody opposed?
Okay.
No, they were saying yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Outlaw.
Yes, ma'am.
I do believe. Okay, is Bishop on?
He was.
He was on. Okay, he was on.
He is on, and he just unmuted. So can you hear us, Bishop Scott?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm pulled over to the side of the road so I can do this. Okay. I don't even have anything in front of me. The first thing was we were going to talk about
Sorry.
The audit is the audit is on the agenda first.
the audit.
I gotta pull up the agenda.
Yes, for the financial audit.
Yes. They finalized that with the audit, but I think they would have been rushed trying to give us what we need this evening. Are they not on? Are they on?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, I think we should do them at the regular meeting when we have because it's going to be it's not about us approving it per se, because they, the audit is the audit. They're going to sign this in it forward. I don't think there's a regulation, a legal thing that we have to do to for them to do what they need to do. Am I right, Jamie?
HUD requires that the auditor file the audit by September 30. Usually the audit is completed several weeks before September 30, but in this case, it's right up to the deadline. The board needs to get a report on the audit, but you can do that at the October meeting as far as the auditor goes. I think it's certainly reasonable for the board to have the audit before September 30. And if they have any questions or directions as to what they want to hear about for the October meeting, you can take that now. But I think that's where it is.
Choppy here. I missed part of what you're saying. My apologies.
So if I hear correctly, we are going to approve an audit without any input from the auditor or a presentation.
No,
we
so
have to-
that's not
Go
correct.
ahead.
You should not approve the audit until you have a presentation from the auditor. You can do that at the October meeting.
Well, what if we approve this today and then we find when they make the presentation in October that there are items that when we knew it in October, we would not have approved it today? What if that were the case?
Well, I think you've had a chance to at least look at the audit. It was a clean audit. And the board cannot reject the audit as far as HUD is concerned. It's the auditor that makes the determination as to what goes in the audit letter. You can have a discussion with the auditor about what's in it. You can ask them questions and then you can identify if there are any problems and take corrective action if need be. But the audit is the audit. There's nothing to approve today.
Then why are we having this meeting?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the number 2 item. It says approve the 2023 financial audit.
I think that's my fault.
Well, I think that's the option. If you want to take a vote and approve it, you can. My recommendation is that you not do that until you actually hear the audit report from the auditor. There's no requirement that you do it before September 30.
What do you want us to do today then? What are we going to do today?
On the audit, I think you can, if you have any questions or if you have any instructions as to what you want to hear from the auditor about, we can take that. And if that's all, and that's really all you need to do as far as the audit's concerned.
Wow.
Well, Jamie, if that's the case, what I want to go into maybe in some detail when the auditor comes and as part of our meeting is I need some more clarification on the TVC monies and Carolina Avenue, that whole loan pool borrowing lease, whatever. Very confusing and doesn't make sense to me where, you know, we've gained money, we've lost money. So I'd like probably a little bit deeper explanation at the next meeting then.
That's noted. Reggie, can you make a note of that?
I already have. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good. Bishop Scott, can you hear us?
Yes, it's Choppy. I'm here. So we're gonna do the budget. I mean, the audit at the next meeting with deeper explanations on the TVC and monies and Carolina Avenue. Correct?
That's right. And of course the overall audit. That's
right.
very
Overall
important.
audit. Right. So do we need? Go ahead.
Commissioner, Mr. Chairman, just as a point of minutes, and I think I'll go along with everything today, but I do want to, for public record, I have questions on page 4, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 12, page 17, and page 19, and page 23, just as a point of notice. And if we are in fact trying to approve this budget today, I want that noted that I do have questions.
It's an audit. It's an audit, sir. You said budget.
Well, yes, ma'am. Thanks for the correction. The audit, yes.
And that's good. We have questions for that But for it going forward, there's nothing that we need to do because it's going to go forward to HUD anyway, correct, Jamie?
Yes, that's right. And I think as Commissioner Outlaw, if you can get, I tried to take those page numbers down while you were speaking, but I'll make sure Reggie gets them, and we'll have the auditor take special look at those pages and be
Yes,
ready to talk
there's
about
not-
them.
Right, Julian?
Yes, I wrote them down.
Julianne has them written down.
Good. And I think we're good.
Okay, I have a question. So you said that there was a deadline and the deadline is tomorrow.
Yes.
Does that mean that they have to turn it in, correct, even though we have not approved it?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
Because you are not financial experts. You are not auditors.
Right, right.
The auditor is the one who has the professional ability to provide the audit.
Right.
What you do is you need to get an audit report as to what's in it in your oversight capacity. And you can do that at the October meeting. There's no requirement that you approve the audit before it's
Understand.
submitted to HUD.
Okay, thank you. I understand.
Any more questions, comment as it relates to the audit?
I do have one question, Mr. Chairman, on page 23, it refers to September XX, comma, 2023. Do you want that filled in to be the 29th? For it to be official? Does that need to be noted?
Julianne, if you would,
Page 23?
Julianne, if you would contact Ben
Yes,
and
sir.
her Commissioner Outlaw statement for Ben and his team to complete and fill in the date before they submit it. And we've noted that Commissioner Outlaw, and that'll be taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I just don't want somebody up a food chain to say that we approved something that didn't have that date there as needed.
Yes, sir.
Chair Scott, next on the agenda is personnel matter. I don't know if people are ready to move on to that.
Any more questions or comment as it relates to the audit?
Do you want a motion and a second to approve this? No, it's just a direction thing or what?
Yeah, there's no need for an approval of the audit. Commissioner Outlaw has been indicated. You all are receiving it as information, and you will have a full presentation at your October meeting. So there's really no approval of the audit required.
Okay, well, then the agenda must be incorrect when it says approved the 2023 financial audit. I'm sorry.
It was Commissioner Outlaw, and just for clarification, for the good of the group of why this was there, Commissioner Bingo had sent an email indicating on reference to the audit, and that if approval or input from the board was needed to make sure that we provided a 48-hour notice in order to do that. So all we were trying to do is to make sure that the notification went out within 48 hours to meet the deadline, if in fact you all wanted to have a meeting to discuss it, but it was not necessarily to approve it. So that's just misstated as it relates to that, but
Thank
wanted
you.
to make sure that we provided notification to you all in case you want to have a meeting to discuss, as you've outlined certain questions, and we just wanted to make sure that you all were aware that the audit was complete in order to make the September 30th deadline.
Thank you.
Well, the email came from the notes from our last meeting where we were told that we would have to have it and have to call a special call meeting as soon as it was ready for us to review. So
yeah, and that wasn't necessarily the case. Thank you, Commissioner Bingo, for that clarification. And we were just trying to meet your request of making sure we did that. So I appreciate everybody's willingness to jump on the call. Yes, ma'am. No worries. We were just trying to meet that requirement.
Yes.
Any more questions or comments on the audit? Okay, no motion necessary for that. I entertain the motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel matter.